Coach, Coach Stoops talked about up and down this year. What was it like for the offense to hit full stride? It seemed like at moments today, especially with Ray and Devin having big games.
Yeah, I mean, again, when you don't run many plays and opportunities were thin, and we didn't execute very well early on, but we hit a little bit of a stride at times, right? We did some good things. A 2-play, 80-yard, drive is nice to have a couple explosives there, or whatever it was, 75-yard drive. And, there's moments, there's flashes. It's still, like we said, not consistent enough, not where we're hoping to be, but some moments that really allowed us to go finish a football game, right? We were able to finish a football game running the ball, and that was something that we obviously struggled to do for the majority of the day.
There's been times this year where there's been opportunities, particularly the last week, where you had opportunities to kind of change the game with some drives. What do you kind of say about your team's mentality that they made the most of those opportunities today?
Yeah. Some resilience, I guess, right? There's a little bit of resilience in there. There's some toughness. I looked at our quarterback. I was back down on the sidelines, for the first time in a long time. And to be able to look at those guys in the eye at times was a proud moment. Like, it felt good. Even when we throw a catastrophic pick, and he never wavered. He comes back and throws a seam down the field to Barryon, and you just look at the kids in their eyes, and you could feed off them. And I'm kind of kicking myself for not doing that more often.
Liam, you talk about that pass to Barryon. Coach talked about it and said there was a moment where you guys are like trying to decide, do we make it third man, run the ball, or do we just do it? And he said y'all kind of had a moment like, let's do this.
Yeah.
Talk about the confidence it takes to have in Leary and Brown in that moment.
Yeah, for whatever you say, it hasn't been perfect, but there have been, like we've said, moments of really high quality football. And in the biggest moments, our kids played high quality football and made plays. That's what you call competitive greatness, being your best when your best is required. And that's what those guys did. I don't care really how the rest of the game went. In the biggest moment of the game, when we needed to play, our kids stepped up, and I'm really proud of them for that.
Liam, I don't think Ray's been immune from the inconsistency of the offense, but he's now scored more touchdowns than anybody else in this program
No doubt.
Season. What is this season has done for you?
Man, special kid, right? The story, his background, his family, everything he's been through, you can't be happier for a kid. That's why you do this. That's why you coach, that's why you educate, that's why you get into this profession. And to see people like him, to see guys like him go through their life and go through their journey and make it out on this side of it. Special kid. I could tell he was going to have a great game yesterday. Really, you could see it in his eye. He had a great look all week. Just so proud of him. Special, talented player.
Is there any reason why you decided to go back down the sideline this week?
No. No, really, I didn't. It was just, we've struggled with a little bit of leadership at times, right? And just a little bit of just being down there. I'm on the field all day in practice, running around like a chicken with my head cut off. And sometimes I felt like being away was better, to where I could just let those guys go play. Don't look at me, don't think about me. And just this morning woke up and just like, I'm going down. And it's actually something my dad's been telling me to do for quite some time now.
Liam, was it a coincidence that after Louisville threw a touchdown pass to a former UK player, that you dialed up a pass for a guy from Louisville?
Right. I talked to Joey before the game. It's actually one of the last conversations I ever had with Joey Gatewood, was saying, I think you're a tight end. And he was great. Before, he's like, I was stubborn at the time, he didn't want to hear that at the moment. That was the last conversation we had. So proud of Joey, proud of what he's accomplished and what he's been able to do. And then again, Isaiah Cummings, to be able to step up to the plate. We had a lot more in the plan for him again this week. And all he's done is be consistent, right? Isaiah's just there's not a lot of guys that play harder than Isaiah Cummings. And for him to be able to do this in his hometown was pretty cool to see.
What can, everybody's talked about the disappointments, the ups and downs, but what can a win like this, going into bowl prep, going into the off season, what can that do for you?
Just energizes things, right? If you were to walk off that field today with an L, man, it's tough to come back and practice in 2 weeks. It's tough to get the guys back. Especially with the amount of games that, we felt like we should have won as a program, whether we did it on offense, defense, special teams, it didn't get done. Today, as I just listened to Brad say, we played complementary football really for one of the first times on the whole season.
Out the year, but just sticking together, battling through adversity, that's something that we're big on. And, we have to be able to come into Monday and just watch the film and, understand there was a couple plays last week that could have put us in position to win, but we can't keep dwelling on that. We knew we knew how good Louisville was. We knew what they wanted to do. We knew what they've done all season, but we have to focus on us, and that's what Coach Stoops has always been preaching, man. Focus on what we can control and what we have to do and keep battling through adversity. And I think, that's why we love Coach Stoops. That's why he always believes in us, and we always believe in him. And we want to go out there and show that, this man has won 4 straight times, now 5. And, we're going to battle behind him no matter what.
Ray, what have you learned about this rivalry just since you've been in Lexington and now being able to play it?
I knew how important it was. I knew that it was a lot of bad blood between Louisville and Kentucky. I knew that this was a game that a lot of people had marked on their calendar just because of the big rivalry behind it. But for me, it's big. It's big to be a part of it. I'm happy that I was able to be a part of 2 big rivalries, with it being Florida and Louisville. But now I'm just really happy that now, whenever you mention Florida or Louisville, you're going to have to mention Ray Davis behind that.
Ray, what did you see on that touchdown run that won the game?
I saw all 5 of my O-line blocking. I saw Isaiah Cummings wrapping around, and I wouldn't want to go against that man going in the hole. So once I saw that, I was 1-on-1 with the backside linebacker and the safety. Broke the first tackle. Once our safety took a bad angle, it was about just going out there and just running and putting my head forward and just trying to go and get us a touchdown. I'll be honest, I was going to stop at the 1 just to be able to ice the game, but I realized they had 3 timeouts. It was still a minute and something to go. So it was about getting in the end zone. Hopefully our defense get us a stop, which they did, and we were able to prevail and get the W.
Ray, how big was, they come out in the second half, drive down, score, they're up 10. How big was Berrion's return to get you guys back in the game?
We've been saying it all year, and I'm going to say it again. I don't know why teams keep kicking it to that man. He is dangerous. He's electrifying. He's unstoppable. And you throughout the game, not even just a kickoff return. He made some key clutch catches, a fade down the right side. He made a really big catch that put us in field goal range to keep the game intact. So, just for him to be able to go out there and give us those needed points and that needed energy, it's been great, and it's been able to provide us all season just the sparks and the things that we need to turn over. And, you got to look out for him next year, too. I think once he gets better and keeps rising and keeps going, he's going to be a heck of a player, and the same thing with all the receivers.
Ray, what does it mean that you're here 1 year and you've scored more touchdowns in the season than any player in this program's history?
I don't necessarily worry about all the touchdowns. I worry about what I can do for my team. And again, if that's running the ball, catching the ball, that's all that matters. And, my 1 year here, I just want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody that was a part of this journey, who, like I said, who've been with me through the ups and downs. And I know there were some days where things were rough and there were some days where things were great. But to be able to, cement my name in history with the best of them, with Benny and C-Rod and Boom. And I just hope down the line, whoever comes next, know how much of it is to come into a position playing running back for Kentucky, to know that you got to be the man, you got to be able to step up to the plate, win or lose, and be able to be the same guy each and every day. And, it's big, and I'm not a big emotional guy. I probably cry when I get in my car, but, it's just it's amazing to be here. It's amazing to know that people were supporting me no matter what.
Ray, has Benny texted you about breaking his record?
Nah, Benny has not texted me. That's kind of Slack's fault because we don't got each other's number. But I'm pretty sure probably on my drive home I'll get a text from Benny. If you look at any of our videos, I said it constantly. I said, I'm coming, Benny. I'm coming. And, I don't know if I broke it, but if I did, thank you, Benny.
There have been a couple moments in the fourth quarters where games have been tight and it hadn't gone your all's way so far this year. So what was the kind of mindset in the huddle when y'all had a chance to go down and put together a kind of game-winning drive in the fourth quarter?
It was our coaches. Our coaches preaching to us to just stay calm and stay focused and stay poised and know that things are going to happen the way it needs to happen. Our defense has some clutch key stops with the fumble, and I think they had about 2 back-to-back fumbles that put us in great field position. And our great leader, Dev, man. Dev has gone through a lot of adversity throughout all season, but one thing I can tell you guys is he is a great leader. He's a great captain. No matter what, he always takes – no matter what things happen or transpire, that man goes to work each and every day and puts his head down, man. I'm proud to be able to be teammates with him. I'm proud for him to be my captain. And he spoke right in that huddle before we went down and scored the game-winning drive, man. Take a big, deep breath. It's going to happen. Just trust do what you got to do and play your game. And, he said that right to me right before I scored a touchdown. So, I'm just proud to be able to call him my teammate and proud for him to be our leader.
Who was throwing the L's down right in Jack Harlow's face was probably one of the coolest moments of the season. Were you anticipating that and knowing that you were going to do it if you had the opportunity?
If you ask Kai Sharon and Deuce Hogan, I literally said, if I get in that end zone, I'm going throwing L's down right in that guy's face. He was nowhere around, so I just kept going. Hopefully the second touchdown, I was trying to find him, but, when all the superstars try to come out, it's always best to ruin their Saturdays, man. So now he got to go back home and just go start recording, I guess.
All right, well, thanks, Ray. Land on that. Appreciate you. We'll wait for Devin Leary. All right, questions for Devin?
Devin, Coach talked about, his word all year has been resolve and finding that. There's been a lot of ups and downs this year, especially last week.
Yep.
Then even late in the game, the interception. Just talk about the resolve that you kind of had to find today to help pull this team out with the win.
Yeah, I mean, you said it first. Coach talked about it from the very first team meeting. He said we're going to be a united group. We're going to be a resilient group. And, we had some tough losses this year. And, games go some ways that we didn't want it to, but, he continues to preach that, the only game that matters is the next one. And, to be able to come out on top is a true statement to what he's kind of, just embodied in our minds from the get-go. And, I'm really proud of this group, really happy for this group, and it's awesome to win here.
Devin, we know the turnovers were tough last week. For your defense to flip that and
Yeah.
get those turnovers, kind of changed the game in the second half. How huge is that for you and as an offense?
Huge. I mean, those guys balled out. And it was just even cool to see, coming over to the sideline in between series, the defense is always telling us, hey, we're going to get it back for you. Don't worry about it. We'll get it back for you. And, credit to those guys. Those guys play hungry. They have that next man up mentality. And, credit to Coach White, too, for getting those guys ready. And, I can't be more thankful for those guys on the other side of the football.
How do you think things were different with Liam Coen on the sideline today?
A little bit different, just because, him and Coach Woody switched from going up top to down to the field. It was pretty cool for him to kind of, really see what he wants on the field as far as personnel or, different looks that he really think, might work, that you can actually have that face-to-face communication. But, from a play call standpoint, I feel like it was pretty similar. And it was, good to have him on the field.
The big throw to Isaiah Cummings, what did you see on that throw, and how much, and he's a Louisville guy, what do you think that meant to him?
Yeah, it was awesome. First, the O-line did a great job giving me protection off the play action. And honestly, it was just a concept that we've been working all week where, we have him in the core, and an athletic guy like him, you got to give him some touches. And, we decided to put him out in space and give him a little bit of a rail route, and it was up to me to really read the corner. And, honestly, they kind of lost him a little bit, found him wide open, just put the ball in his hands and let him do the rest.
What happened in halftime? Second half, 5 drives, you all scored on 4 of them. I mean, you guys were clicking. So
Yep.
What happened at halftime? What kind of sparked that whole deal?
Yeah, I think we kind of just settled in. We didn't press like we did in the past, or we didn't try to, hit a home run shot on one specific play. We just kept, pushing away, going 1-0, like Coach always says. And, honestly, Barryon sparked us on the kick return, the special teams. As soon as he scored that kick return, it brought juice to the sidelines, not only the offense, but the defense too. And, for us to respond like that in the second half was huge. And, like I said, credit to the special teams and defense for us finally putting together complimentary football.
What was going? There's been a couple of tight games in the fourth quarter. What was kind of going through your mind before you all got the ball back to have a chance to go win the game there in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I was calm. I was really calm. Well, first of all, I'm sorry for giving everyone a heartbreak on throwing that interception. I really was trying to get it out of bounds. That was on me. There's no excuse for that. But honestly, I was really calm. Getting around all the offensive linemen on the sideline, being around guys like Ray and even Ramon. Those are guys that have a lot of snaps. They're veteran guys that have been in similar situations, and they kind of just tell you, they look at you in the eyes and say, hey, have fun with it. And, that kind of just clicks in your head that, this is a game that we've been playing our whole lives. And, in big time situations like that, it's important to have fun because they don't always come around often. So being able to take advantage of that moment and being in that moment was huge for me and the entire team.
Devin, does winning this game change the way you look at the season, given there was all the talk about falling short against the best teams on your schedule?
Yeah, I mean, it's still disappointing. Not the season, but those losses are disappointing because, you want to win them all. We have really high expectations going into the season, but, based off what coach is telling us, this game is really important to this program, to this university. And, they were a very good football team. They're very well coached, had a lot of really good players on both sides of the ball. And, for us to come out on top, you walk away feeling a little bit better going into the bowl game, regardless of everything that we went through this whole season.
This whole year we've been going back to that conversation that you and Ray had in your car or his car, I can't remember whose car it was.
Yep.
How does it feel to know the last regular season game, you got 3 touchdown passes and he has 3 touchdowns himself? I mean,
Man, it was awesome. It was awesome. I mean, some of those plays were designed for Ray. Other plays is just him making a play. And, that's credit to him. And honestly, it just makes my job that much easier. Like you said, he said it from the beginning, anytime I'm in trouble or anytime there's a doubt, if I could just dish the ball to him, he's going to try to handle the rest. And he did a little bit of that today. So I'm just thankful for him.
Got one time for one more.
So Devin, after the interception, you come back out and make that throw to Barry on.
Yes, sir.
And that was a tremendous throw. Where does one find the confidence after you, as you said, had kind of a catastrophic pick? Where do you have the confidence to make a throw like that?
Yeah, being resilient. I've been in that situation before. True quarterbacks respond the right way. And, for me, I was devastated because I didn't want to put our team at fault. I'm always put the team first, do anything for us to win. And, Coach called the play that I was really comfortable with. And, Barryon made a heck of a play too. And like I said, that interception was 100% on me. It's not something I could do, but responding is something that I can control. And, I'm glad that I responded the right way for my team.
Devin, I actually have one more real quick. You talk about having fun a few times. There's this video that's been on the post-game locker room. Coach Stoops beating up with a stool.
Yeah, I don't know.
Seems like he was having fun with
He was having too much fun with that. I don't know. He was banging on the locker, but I mean, it was awesome to celebrate with everyone.
All right, thanks, Devin.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks.